Alright, AS Biology 9700. We're starting off with Chapter 1, which is cell structure. Under Chapter 1, we'll be doing 1.1, which is microscopy. This is going to be an interesting one. So starting off for our time right here, we'll start off with the fact that there are two common types of microscopes. Alright, straightforward. We have two types of microscopes, starting off with number one, which is the light microscope, So exactly what does a light microscope look like? It's a very standard laboratory apparatus. There's a pretty good chance that you've actually seen what a light microscope looks like, and it looks like this. Now, the reason why this is called a light microscope is not really because this is not that heavy or something like that. People might think so, it's not entirely wrong, but the reason that this is known as a light microscope is because we use visible light to see specimens. We simply use visible light to see specimen. Okay, this is a very simple type of microscope. But if you really want to take things up a notch and step things up, we really have to go for the one and only electron microscope. This is much more powerful than your day-to-day light microscope. And this is not just one singular device, if you may. This is a combination of certain electron beams, computerized images, and signal processors. It's a huge equipment. It is like literally like 8 or 10 times larger than your typical microscope, maybe even more. With time, I'm pretty sure things would condense down like how the computer did, but for now it's a pretty large object. I'm pretty sure there are like compact versions of this as well. But yeah, typically when you talk about the electron microscope, it's a rather large device. Now the thing when it comes to an electron microscope is that we actually have two types of electron microscopes. You are not required to know these types in too much detail, but I want to explain what those are. The first one is actually known as a transmission electron microscope. Or is it a transmission electron microscope? Now, what's up with a transition electron microscope, you might ask? Simply speaking, in terms of a transmission electron microscope, the electron beam is passed through specimen, and then you can observe. Electron, what's the keyword here? The electron beam is passed through the specimen. It is transmitted through the specimen. Then what's on the other end of the spectrum? That will be the SE. We call this the scanning electron micrograph. Not micrograph, microscope. I keep saying micrograph. Scanning electron microscope. Right. What about this? This guy. So the electron beam here is used to scan the surface of a whatever specimen it is and then observe it. So it's just a surface scan.